Hey, what's up guys? Today we'll be doing a new video. I got myself a new tripod, which is really nice. Currently it's still standing on the old tripod, but I got myself a new one because that one is actually not mine. I was borrowing that one, and this one is really mine, and it has some features that I thought were really nice. The reason I'm making a video of it is because when I saw it online I couldn't really find that much about it. I did find some videos, but they were really old. And so I thought, well, why not make one myself, since I finally got it. So as you can see, it's the Velbon VS-443. Velbon is a brand from Germany. They make well, accessories for photography, and they've been around for a long time. They're from the 1950s, I believe, so they've been around there a long time. So inside the box you basically get the bag and a manual. Now it's just a regular tripod on the bottom, so that's really nice. And it's got these clamps to extend, which is really nice, but that is not the feature I wanted this for. Now, the reason I wanted this tripod was because of this feature. So we've got this arm here. So normally you do have some kind of arm to move the camera about, which is really nice. The feature I wanted was this one. That's that you can slide this arm out mechanically. So it's got like little reels. I will post pictures so you can see it clearly. But yeah, that's really nice. It's mainly made for macro photography. So it's more used, if you extend it fully, you can't have too heavy of a camera because that will tip over. So it's then made to be used when it's really flat, like this, and then you can really get up close to the thing you're trying to make a photo of. The reason I wanted this is because it's a bit like a reels you can use for filming, so we could do some really cool slides with this. I'll experiment a bit with it in the video, so you'll see that later. But let's first go up and close and get to the features. So as I just showed you, I put the tripod's legs really flat. Let me see if you can actually see that. Zoom out a bit. So I did that by pushing this one all the way to the, for you, right side, because they were all the way over here, and it automatically locks back when you fold it downwards. As you can see, now it's in the middle. Now you can't get back to the full flat position unless you lock it there yourself again, which is really nice. It's got three stages, so the regular standard angle when you're wait, let me get the other ones down as well to that same angle. So more the angle you would use if you want to get it really high. And then, semi-flat, so it's still, you can still, if you were to extend these arms, you could still get quite high, but obviously not as high, but it would be a lot more stable. And then for really up close to the ground, as I showed you, you can get them like this. So that's really flat. So let's fold them back in again. Now this obviously has full rotation. You can get up and down, which is really nice. It's simply locked by turning this thing, so that's really easy to do. You can do it one-handed. Now we've got the crank to crank out the arm, and you can lock it in place with this knob right here. Now you can't turn it anymore, and then loosen it, of course, to slide it further out, which is really nice. And another really nice feature of this was the locking mechanism for the camera mount. So usually you get like, wait, let me grab it. So usually you get like a little plate to lock your camera into. This is not the plate that came with this one, by the way. That one is on my camera, but it's basically the same. The screw is a bit different, but like the threading is the same. But like the little folding out thingy is a little different. It's a little bigger, so you can easily turn it. But for the rest, it's pretty much the same, and it doesn't have this knob to keep it in place, but it is larger, so you've got more of this rubberized pad on the top. But the nice thing about this is when you don't have a camera in, you simply, it's like, it's spring loaded. You can see. Now it's open. This doesn't stick over the actual piece. So when you were to put it in, you can see there's still room here. It doesn't cover it. But if you push down on it, it locks. And it instantly locks your camera into place. So you can easily put your camera in one-handed without worrying about it being secured properly, because it just locks itself in place. And other than that, it's pretty much it. Let me show you how high it can get from the ground. Wait. So it's now in the most tripod-like position. Let me first fold them in to easily extend these things. Still gotta get used to it because my old tripod, the flaps go the other way, so I'm inclined to push the wrong way to lock it. So, oh shit, which one didn't get locked? Oh, I didn't lock the top ones, I'm an idiot. So this is when it's on the ground. As you can see, it's quite tall. I'm 1.70 m, for those wondering. With this, wait, let me see. I have to turn this way. With the ball head on top to show you how high I can really get. So it can get about to my length, so about 1.70 m high, which is pretty nice because on top here is your camera, so it will be a little higher, of course, depending on which camera you have. That's a really nice height to get to. But the main reason I wanted this is because when I was filming inside a computer or something, I always had to film down at an angle or set my tripod up on the table. Let me show you how I actually did that. It's actually basically like this, with the camera on here, and then having my computer, pretend this is my computer, looking down into it. So the problem being that if my tripod is on my table, which isn't that big, it's literally on the edge of it. So one small bump into it and it would literally fall off the table with my camera and everything. So that wasn't ideal. So what I want to do with this one is use the arm to extend horizontally and then be able to film down into it really easily. So let me show that. Where I want to use it is, alright, let me take this. Having it like this and then look down into the PC so it's above it. So I can work safely, so it will be on the side the camera is on right now, so it doesn't stand in my way. I can easily work in the PC, but the camera will still be easily looking into it. And then I will mount this light on my camera so that it shines into the PC and we've got proper lighting there. Because that was a problem as well. My lights are, well, they're semi up, they're higher than I am, but they're still not shining directly from above. And when it's your PC, because of the case, which is really high, you've still got those large shadows and it's really a problem. So yeah, that would be really nice. One problem with this is, since it's made for macro photography, so it's not really made to carry a heavy camera when it's on this height and not the legs fully flat. So as I showed you, it isn't that stable and it could fall. With my camera and the light, it does fall. Without the light, just my camera and the rig cage, it doesn't. But I've got a really compact and small camera, so for you, if you have a big DSLR or something, it will definitely tip over. Luckily for me, that is not as much of a problem. because I've got my tripod against my desk, so it can't really tip over because the desk is in the way. So basically I put my tripods like as close as possible to the desk, leaning against it, and then this leg is extended longer so it holds on to something, and then these are just to put the like stable this way, but it can't fall forward. So for me that is no problem, but if you're planning of getting this yourself, know that if you put a camera on it, even a small one like mine, it can easily tip forward when it's fully extended and used in its full height. Another reason I wanted this is, as I said, is because of the reels and the things you can do with that. So if you were to film sideways, you could really get some cool shots by just oh wait, I locked it, sorry. By panning around the object, and because it's mechanical you can slide it yourself, like it's geared, so as long as you're turning evenly it should extend evenly, and this works pretty fine. The thing I'm not too happy about is that it's got a little wiggle in here. So when extending it, let me put it as straightforward to you as I can, so you can see the wiggle. If I move it with my hand you can already see it, but if I crank it, see that? It just wiggled. So in photography this is not a problem because well, you're only taking the photo when it's on a certain spot. We can't really use it that well as a reels during filming without stabilization. I'm gonna show you a shot now of how what it looks like if it's on here and you try to do something like this. So this is the crank if you go frontal, so this is not zooming but cranking the thing. So the reason why using a reels versus just zooming in with the lens is different is in the sense that when you move the reels forward you will actually see the background moving while the objects stay in relatively the same position. When zooming in, of course, the entire image stays on the same plane and you're just, well, getting closer to it. So as you can see, when using the reels some stabilization is needed. I will show you a comparison video as well of the stabilized footage, so in software stabilization, in the video editing software, and just the raw footage side by side. Fully zoomed in horizontal crank. As you can see in the horizontal movement, so the sideways movement, it's even more apparent than when you're going towards the object. And the stabilization is a little bit harder to stabilize as you see in the software, but it still ends up looking really cool in my opinion. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say about this tripod. I'm really glad I got this, and I hope I can make some better content with it in the future. So see you guys next time.